assume that I'm really well off because my grandfather was on a sitcom. But the thing is, Gilligan's Island was in 1964. Residuals started in the 70s, so just sit right back and hear a tale. I don't have any fucking money. My family used to have money. We used to have the most beautiful, big Hollywood mansion behind the Chinese theater. And I remember, like, one of my first memories, actually, I was maybe, 4 or 5 years old. And I was at this pool party we were having at the house. And I was having the most amazing time, just running around the side of the pool, having a good time. And I ran right smack into this 6 foot, like this looming just beast of a man. And I'll never forget, because he looked down on me and he said, "Hey, there's no running around the pool, little girl. What the hell are you doing?" He was terrifying. He was also B. Arthur. So I had to do what everyone else in Los Angeles has to do to survive. I had to wait tables, and I did it for 13 years. And I knew, like, I had to quit because people were so obnoxious. This last restaurant was particularly the worst. The only thing that I liked about this last restaurant was knowing that my manager got really drunk one night and had sex with one of the waitresses in the back seat of his car. So, oops, I got the schedule I wanted. The reason why it was so bad, it was just because of the people that I had to wait on. There was this one woman I'll never forget. She came in, she sat in my section on the patio as the sun was setting. And she stops me, she says, excuse me, hi, the sun is like in my face. I said, all right, ma'am, would you like to go inside? She's like, no, I'm enjoying the nature. I said, well, we're in a CVS parking lot, but, okay. So she stops me, she says, excuse me, the sun, it moved. Like, okay, well, I can lower the blind. It's probably going to happen again. The third time she stopped me, I was like, ma'am, this is Earth. Okay, like, I can control whether or not you get ranch or blue cheese on your mixed field greens. I can't control the daily disappearance of the sun below the horizon in the west. Also, still hungry? Eat a dick. You guys like that because I said eat a dick. I know. I know my audience. It's good. It's good. I had another woman come in and she stops me. She's like, hi, excuse me, question. Well, first of all, I need a gluten-free menu and some more bread. And then she says, question. I like soup. I said, well, that's a statement, you waste of space. I was so upset, I actually went to the bathroom and touched myself till I felt better. Sometimes I would lock myself in the bathroom in the middle of the lunch rush just to, like, look up inspirational quotes to make myself feel better. There was one that I will never forget. It's my favorite. Okay, it goes, the greatest things in life cannot be seen or heard. Helen Keller. Like, girl, not to be rude, but, like, how would you know? You know? She wasn't done, though. She then went on to say, I would rather walk with a friend in the dark than alone in the light. Okay, that one got to me. That one started to make me think. Because I was like, you know what? I would rather not be Helen Keller. A couple people in the back aren't laughing. She can't hear you. You know what, though? Karma came to kick me right up the ass for that joke, because let me tell you about some of the last few tables that I had at this job. I had a table of deaf women come in. And then right next to them, I had Dane Cook. Like, okay, so I gave them both amazing service. The women wound up being super rude, ran me ragged, and then they left me $4 on a $100 check. Right? Like, I remember thinking, oh my God, like, I feel really bad that they can't hear, but why do they suck at math? And then I thought, well, maybe if Dane Cook figures out that I'm a comic, maybe he'll tip me extra, it'll make up for that. Okay, great. So I started dropping a bunch of, like, terms on him like an idiot, you know, hey Dane, I heard you drop in at the Improv and you killed it. Good set, man. Like, you know, all of that. So he figured it out. And then his bill was $30. He left me a $40 tip. Yeah. Right? So either Dane Cook isn't the douchebag we all think he is, or he sucks at math too. And one of the last tables that I ever had, you guys, I had Kim K. Kim Kardashian came in. I don't particularly give a shit about her, but she came in, and I will say that she's beautiful. I will say that. Every time she got up, I could not stop staring at her ass. Just could not stop looking. And the whole time I was thinking, man, that thing is literally the size of Cleveland. Or I should probably say Detroit, because a lot of black men have been in it. Oh, yeah, sir. Yeah. I'm just super grateful to not be waiting tables anymore and to be doing shows, which is, it's so exciting.
My mom was a nurse for 30 years. She's retired. I said, out of nowhere, while we're pushing a cart, God, I have a splitting sinus headache. She goes, oh, here. And roots through a giant purse and goes, take this. And I took it. And about a second later, I hear, oh. I said, what was that all about? She goes, you swallow that? Yep. Sure did. Swallow it. What color was it? I don't know, Mom. I don't know. I didn't look at what color it was. Kathleen, why didn't you look at what color the pill was? What? Why? Why? Because you're not somebody I met at a party. You were my mom. You were a nurse for 30 years. I bought the whole story. I did. I trusted you. I ate it blind. I just ate it blind. I said, well, if you had to guess, what kind of pill do you think I ate? She said, well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It came out of the blue unmarked bottle that your father and I call the All-Stars. And it could be anything from pain medication to blood pressure pills, Kathleen. I said, what if it's his blood pressure medication? She said, you're going to pass out. And that's why we should abandon our carts and leave this Target immediately. Because I can't drag you out of here with this bad knee. That knee replacement did not work. I don't care what he says. It didn't work. And you're not going to want me to drive home, Kathleen, because it takes forever because I don't make left turns anymore. Now I don't even care what kind of pill I ate. Now I just want to understand why she doesn't make left turns anymore. I saw, it's not always lefts. It's anything into oncoming traffic where you have to cross lanes to get to your lanes. UPS doesn't allow their drivers to do it, and they save millions of dollars. Your father and I are retired. We have that kind of time. You drive to the next light, and you cautiously make a U-turn, Kathleen. That's what you do. About, 4 days later, I went back into her purse to get a little something else out of that All-Star bottle, which turned out to be delicious. And I thought I had one of my nephew's guns and it was like a toy, but it was kind of heavy. And I was like, She goes, careful, that's loaded. I go, really, Mom? You just walk around with a loaded pistol all the time now? Yeah. I go, really? Why? And without missing a beat, she goes, rape. Wait a minute, Mom. Wait a minute. Do you mean you think you're gonna get raped? Or do you mean you think we're gonna stumble upon a rape in progress and then shoot the rapist and become CNN heroes and get to meet Anderson Cooper? Because it's 70, Mom. I'm not saying you're still not as cute as the devil, because you are, but I think you slipped out of the holy crap, I gotta rape that lady right now category. I think you dropped down into, I think I might steal that lady's Cadillac at Walgreens because she leaves the keys on the pharmacy counter for at least 37 minutes every time she shops. Then she goes up and can't remember where she parked the car, still doesn't know she has the keys. It is cool to see your parents get older, though, and not care anymore. Because there's 7 kids in my family. They were as strict as you could be, but now they're grandparents. My one brother's got 3 boys. They're 4, 2, and nothing, whatever you call that. I don't know, he's new. And my parents volunteered to babysit for 3 days while him and his wife went away. I said, I'll come down and help you for a couple days. I'm off in the middle. Sure, I'll help. And my dad, very patient. My mom, still not even to this day. She told the older one, Patrick, I need you to put the iPad down. He goes, no. Wow. Now look at the guts on him. She told me to eat a pill, and I just did it. At this age, like, I didn't even look at what color it was. That's how obedient I am. Wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. 4, no. She said, Patrick, I'm not kidding. I said, put the iPad down. He goes, no. And he shut the door right at her. My mom unravels. Jack, did you see what he did? Did you see what? Vicky, you are 70. He is 4. Get a handle on yourself. We can't reparent these people in 3 days. I don't care what goes on here. It's our job to get out alive, okay? I don't care if he eats the iPad. I don't. We'll buy another iPad. That's what we'll do. All I know is 2 hours before they get home, we're going to shower the 3 of them, put them on the couch and go, they were lovely. And then we're going to the casino. That's how this is going to end. And they've gotten more liberal the older they've got, which is weird because usually your parents go the other way. Like the very first Obama election, I wanted Hillary. My parents are old school Democrats, but my dad does not like the Clintons. He hates the Clintons because of NAFTA. He's never going to get over NAFTA. How could you think about supporting that woman? She was with him the whole way on NAFTA, the whole way. And if you'd like to know exactly what's wrong with NAFTA and the problems that it has caused this country, you can call 573 348 blah 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 blah. As for Jack, and you will get a 2-hour dissertation on why exactly this country has fallen apart. They wanted Obama. I voted for Obama, but I always thought, I think he thinks we're a little bit more of a team than we are. Like, here's the thing, sir, we get you elected, and then you do shit, and then you tell us about it. That's how I thought this was gonna roll. Oh, no, not with Obama. He's on TV all the time. America, I'm gonna need your help on this. Sir, we are busy, okay? Shark Week is on. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's not something you tape. You gotta watch that live. It always sucks on tape. Doomsday Preppers, I have 8 episodes I've yet to watch. I don't even watch reality, but if you have never seen that show, I think it's the craziest you can be. They are preparing for the end of the world, these people. They all think it's something different. A dirty bomb, the government's going to take over, or they have all these ideas of how the world's going to end, but they prepare differently. They have bunkers, they have medicine for life. But what's even more bizarre than what they're doing is every single one of them is married. Wow, really? I have normal, nice friends that can't get a date. And you... If I'd have married the future King of England, shit would have went down a little bit differently. They would have treated it like a tailgating party. My father would have been there with a rainbow wig and a John 3:16 sign. My mother would have started the wave and made out with the priest. My brothers would have had those big foam, we're number 1. My uncles, who I wouldn't have been able to invite into the wedding, like the Duchess of York, like they'd had to stay out in the parking lot, they'd have been frying up dogs and bootlegging T-shirts. If you want to be queen, you got to kneel before the king. What I went through to have my son, and I don't mean physically, none of that stuff. I just mean to keep my job. I've been a comic. When I was pregnant with him, I'd been a comic for 14 years at that point. When everybody found out I was pregnant, they were like, oh my God, what are you going to do? Well, what do you mean? Well, never forget to take my birth control pill again. What do you mean? They didn't know what to do with me, because most female comedians, their wives have their babies for them, right? So no one knew. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Those are my colleagues and friends, so, and I support it. But no one knew what to do with me. My agent goes, well, guess your career's over. What was this, just a ruse to get a man? All this? He goes, well, I never saw a pregnant woman on stage. Well, apparently never been to a really bad strip club. It's just a 2-for-1 dance is all that is. That's all that is. Oh, so much fun. Every day something's crazy.
Every day. You find the funny. I'm telling you, you just got to pay attention. The problem is we don't pay attention. We're so self-absorbed, we don't listen to other people even, right? Guy came up to me after the show. He said, I saw you on YouTube. Remember me? I got his number in case my cousin's line is busy, because you just never... It's always good to have a dummy on backup. You find the funny. And I can only tell you how to help you do it. I can only help you to find the funny, because it's happened to me. It's happened to me. I was publicly humiliated once that I didn't know how I was going to get out of bed. I was supposed to be on the second season of Dancing with the Stars. At least that's what I thought. No one was watching that show. It was not popular then. 2 days before I was supposed to start rehearsal, I got a phone call. They said, Tammy, we're sorry, but we're going in a different direction. So I got GPS. Where are you going? I will follow you. I will stalk you like Sacagawea with MapQuest. Where are you going? Started shaving my eyebrows and getting a wig. They stunt casting because Hollywood is flaky. You know who they chose over me? Heather Mills McCartney. Yes, that's why that show became popular. Because Heather Mills, you know who she is? She used to be married to a Beatle. She's an amputee. You don't even know a bad day at work till you've been replaced on a dancing show by a one-legged broad, okay? I tried to choke myself to death. That doesn't work. You pass out and your hands fall off your throat. And you breathe and suck at two things. That's my favorite joke. If you get that, great. If you don't, put your head down and rest, because that is the delineating line joke. True story. It's a bad day. I was humiliated. I wasn't paying attention. I got in a car accident. I was okay, but the airbag imploded, hit me in the face. My lips were swollen. But it was Hollywood, so people never thought I looked better. Oh my God, who did your lips? Cadillac, get the hell away from me. Tried to call my cousin. This is why you gotta have a dumb friend. I called her. I go, oh my God, what a day I'm having. She goes, I can't talk now. My toe is stuck in the dishwasher. I immediately felt better about myself, because I can get a new car and a new job, but I'll never be that damn stupid. You find it. The funny's there. Someone keeps breaking into our car. Can you imagine? 3 times in the past 6 months, all I steal is the change out of the ashtray. So annoying, just the change. First 2 times, I did not call the police. I have a lot of respect for police officers. I didn't want to bother them. This time, I finally called the cops. They sent the wrong guy. They sent a guy who could not find the funny if it had a handle, okay? He asked me the world's dumbest question ever in police work, and I watch all those cop shows, I know, okay? He said, do you have any idea who might have stolen your change? The president? He promised change. Maybe he's taken mine and given it to someone else. That in a political way at all. I could care less what your politics are, but a lot of people who don't have a sense of humor take that in a political way. You know who you are, because your ass is tight right now. I would just say what I meant. He took it in a political way, right? The cop did. He had no sense of humor. He goes, you know what, for a comment like that, we could put you on the watch list. Good, well, you're watching me. Can you watch my car? Make sure no one breaks in. Steals my change. So I'm gonna kill someone over $3.47, okay? I'm in the garage sleeping on a lawn chair with a slingshot. Because that's some little bastard whose family doesn't know how to control him. You understand? Because you can't hit your kids anymore, but you can trip them. They're clumsy and fall into furniture. They will listen, all right? Since when did society get to tell you what to do with a kid? I didn't know that. I had my kid. I had never told anybody what to do with their kid. Within an hour of coming home from the hospital, I received 4 phone calls from a Nazi breastfeeding organization that found out I was going to give my son a bottle. I said, what do you people want? The lady goes, we'd like to come over and nurse your baby. I said, my baby's fine, but my husband could use some attention. I'm tired, and I see how this works out. And he doesn't want to let any of them go to waste. People tell you what to do with, that's to do with your kids. I don't know why people tell you what to do with the kid. We're ruining kids. I signed my son up for t-ball. All I ever wanted was a little boy to play sports. They don't even keep score at t-ball anymore. Because everybody's a winner. Not really. Look around. Some people are losers. innately. And if you don't teach your kid how to lose and figure out a way to come back and win, then he's going to live with you in his underwear and cowboy boots behind the screen door for the rest of his goddamn life.
My mom and I actually got divorced at the same time. This time, she's had a few goes, but we live in a duplex by the airport. And, so things are good. I do think my kids want me to start dating, They're 20 and 16, and I think they're worried about me choking alone on food. They're like, you need a spotter. You need somebody on duty. I choked over the summer. I was eating watermelon. And I was really eating it. I was excited about that watermelon. And I started to choke for real. And what scared me is I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't get up and start ramming myself into the counter or go to the neighbor Bill. I didn't call anybody. I just sat there like, well, this is it. This is what's taking me out. But eventually I did wiggle it down. Fellas, I put that in my Hinge profile. I can wiggle down a little watermelon if I'm choking. It's hard to come out of, I was married for 14 years and now I'm out, not gay out. I've licked a puss, but I don't count it. I'm like prison gay. Like out here, there's too many dicks, but locked up day one, I'm finding a bitch in there. They should add that type of gay to the flag. Just add another bar, a prison bar. It's like all rainbow and then steel. Just marching in the pride parade in stripes. Gay for the stay. There's a lot of poly people, polyamorous. I don't like them. I don't. They're like the vegans of relationships. They're always talking about it and trying to recruit you into their weird shit they got going on. I feel like poly people are people that got cheated on so many times that they're like, no, I like it. Actually, I really like it, so not gonna hurt me anymore. I'm dead inside. I'll suck the dick right after you suck it. I don't care. I'll watch you suck it, then I'll suck it. I'm broken. They're always ugly, too. You notice that? They're the ugliest. It's like, how'd you get one person to fuck you? You're getting multiple people? What, do you have a boat? What's going on? So I did. I joined Hinge, like I said, and that's depressing. I can't believe we're all doing this to each other. And half the time you're getting judged by somebody taking a shit. That just... It's so not romantic, just knowing someone's like, no. Or worse, yes, It's a lot of rejection for these men, too. And men, you're not built for 50 no's a day. That's how somebody gets stabbed, telling a man no that much. And you can hear when a guy's been on those apps for too long, because he'll put things in the profile like, if you're not ready to get married, don't even look over here. I'm done playing games, bitch. I'm like, what? I'm new here. Hi. And they all have the same photos. They all have a fish. The fish, yes. And the fish, I think, is trying to say, I can provide. If it gets real bad, you'll eat once. I hope you like bluegill, bitch. We're gonna split it. And then the second photo, I feel like it's trying to make up for all the anger in the profile, because it'll be them with a dog. Like, look, I don't kill everything. But the one that really bothers me, it's them with a kid, and then in the profile they say, not my kid pictured. And I'm like, I don't want you handsy with kids. That's not yours. What are you, Dan Schneider? Get fucked. Sending me digital roses? No. I need Unhinged. That's the app that I want. where it's just your diagnosis, the medications you're on, the side effects to those medications. So when you don't come, I don't feel bad. I'm just like, oh, that's that Lexapro kicking in, no problem. I'm not offended. I wanted some watermelon, just check on me. I think with the data, they could match us up by our mental illnesses. Like match my depression with your OCD so you motivate me. Let's get this closet in order. You know, put some labels in the kitchen, color code some things. Don't send a rose, send help. Send a digital Xanax, that would be amazing. It's like, I hope you're calm at work. I do have anxiety pretty bad, always have. And anyone else have anxiety here? Should have been everybody. If you're not anxious right now, you're fucked up. Something is wrong with you. I don't know if you've looked outside. Yeah, I do have anxiety pretty bad. I take CBD oil for my anxiety, and I'm on a steady drip all day. I feel like I'm the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. I get scared and I freeze, and I'm like, oil can. Oil can. I get a few drips, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go to the DMV now. A big trigger for my anxiety is symptoms. Like if you're sick, don't tell me about it because I start to get it. Like if you're like, I have a fever, I'm like, it is hot in here. It is. And one time, sometimes I get so scared that I faint, like one of those little goats. You know, you see them on YouTube where you scare them and they just tip over.
It is cool to see your parents get older, though, and not care anymore. Because there's 7 kids in my family. They were as strict as you could be, but now they're grandparents. My one brother's got 3 boys. They're 4, 2, and nothing, whatever you call that. I don't know, he's new. And my parents volunteered to babysit for 3 days while him and his wife went away. I said, oh, I'll come down and help you for a couple days. I'm off in the middle. Sure, I'll help. And my dad, very patient. My mom, still not even to this day. She told the older one, Patrick, I need you to put the iPad down. He goes, no. Wow. Now look at the guts on him. She told me to eat a pill, and I just did it. At this age, like, I didn't even look at what color it was. That's how obedient I am. Wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. 4, no. She said, Patrick, I'm not kidding. I said, put the iPad down. He goes, no. And he shut the door. Right at her. My mom unravels. Jack, did you see what he did? Did you see what? Vicky, you are 70. He is 4. Get a handle on yourself. We can't reparent these people in 3 days. I don't care what goes on here. It's our job to get out alive, okay? I don't care if he eats the iPad. I don't. We'll buy another iPad. That's what we'll do. All I know is 2 hours before they get home, we're going to shower the 3 of them, put them on the couch, and go, they were lovely. And then we're going to the casino. That's how this is going to end. And they've gotten more liberal the older they've got, which is weird, because usually your parents go the other way. Like the very first Obama election, I wanted Hillary. My parents are old school Democrats, but my dad does not like the Clintons. He hates the Clintons because of NAFTA. He's never going to get over NAFTA. How could you think about supporting that woman? She was with him the whole way on NAFTA, the whole way. And if you'd like to know exactly what's wrong with NAFTA and the problems that it has caused this country, you can call 573. 348, blah, 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 ask for Jack, and you will get a 2-hour dissertation on why exactly this country has fallen apart. They wanted Obama. I voted for Obama, but I always thought, I think he thinks we're a little bit more of a team than we are. Like, here's the thing, sir, we get you elected, and then you do shit, and then you tell us about it. That's how I thought this was gonna roll. hell no. No, not with Obama. He's on TV all the time. America, I'm going to need your help on this. Sir. We are busy, okay? Shark Week is on. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's not something you tape. You got to watch that live. It always sucks on tape. Doomsday Preppers, I have 8 episodes I've yet to watch. I don't even watch reality, but if you have never seen that show, I think it's the craziest you can be. They are preparing for the end of the world, these people. They all think it's something different. A dirty bomb, the government's going to take over, or they have all these ideas of how the world's going to end, but they prepare differently. They have bunkers, they have medicine for life. But what's even more bizarre than what they're doing is every single one of them is married. Wow, really? I have normal, nice friends that can't get a date. And you, how'd you throw that out on christianmingle.com and get a hit back? That's all I want to know. How do you just toss that out there like it's normal? Hobbies? Preparing for the end of the world. You can't throw something else in, tennis. I mean, what? No. And then somebody hit you back. OMG, me too. Meet me at Costco. Lots of things to buy. Can't wait. This is going to get weird. Waiting for shit to get weird. Wait for shit to get weird. Obama is always reaching out. God love him. America, if you agree with me on how to solve this financial crisis, I'm going to need you to email your congressmen and representatives. I'm like, well, then I'm going to need you to email me who they are. Because unless they're hosting Shark Week or preparing for the end of the world, I am probably not familiar with their work. Because the ticket didn't say Obama Madigan. The ticket said Obama Biden. So if you need some help, I suggest you get that smiling Irishman you hired out of a bar, who is my favorite person on the planet, by the way. Because there's a reason he's always smiling. Because he was smart enough to go for vice president. Yes, all the alcohol, none of the problems. That is the job you go for. If you have, what do you want to be number one for? Blah, 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 blah. Cut your ego down a level. There's nothing wrong with Air Force 2. Same plane, different number, same plane. Yeah, and you don't even have to answer anything. What do you think about the finance? I don't know. I really don't want to talk about it. The ice in my margarita is melting, though. And I have to go to a funeral in Turkey of a person I've never heard of. And I got to act sad. So I'm going to need a few more drinks, and then I'll talk to you guys later. Obama, I really think he starts out on such a high intellectual level sometimes. I saw him 2 months ago on TV. He just gave a random speech. He goes, America, I'm here to update you about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Really? It's going to start right there? Well, I'm here to update you, sir. That's funny. I have an update, too. Up until 6 months ago, I thought Fannie Mae was a candy factory in Chicago. And I couldn't understand why a candy factory was allowed to hand out home loans. And then I really couldn't understand who thought to go there. Like, that's brilliant. Like, well, hey, the bank said no. Why don't we go down to the candy factory and see if they seem to be doing well. And I thought Freddie Mac was a candy bar that they made I hadn't yet tasted in it. And I thought, I'm going to look for that at the airport, and I hope it has caramel in it. They speak about these things as if we're all updated. The deficit? They say that as if it's a real tangible number. The deficit is $3,7,804. Now is the time to get concerned. Really? Now? Why? Why now? You're in charge. You didn't panic at $2 trillion. I think you're bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
She has begun trolling me on Facebook, which I don't appreciate for a single second. I post about my shows on social media, and her friends commented that they wanted to come see me. My mom replied to their comment and said, "You're not gonna like it." I'm like, Mom, do you mind not actively fucking with my money? I'm like, if you're gonna say shit like that, can you at least do it from a fake profile so people can't tell that it's my goddamn mom? I'm in your profile picture. God damn it. We have the same last profile picture is me with an old lady. They can tell. I believe that she doesn't know how to make herself a fake profile because she is so bad with technology. I'm like, this is impossible. She sends me blank texts. It won't even let you do that. I'm like, how? I'm like, are you typing out spaces? What are you doing? My friend asked me if you have bad teeth because you always smile with your mouth closed in your pictures. Oh, did you ask her if she's an old bitch? Because she is. My teeth are fine, thank you very much. I go to the dentist every 6 months. That was not always the case. It used to be if someone told me they went to the dentist every 6 months, I was like, you think you're better than me? Fuck you. Every time I would go, I would be like, this is it. I'm going to start going every 6 months. I'm going to start investing in myself. By the end of the visit, I'd be like, fuck this, fuck you. I will see you in 3 years. Last place I went before my dentist now, they wanted to charge me $500 to fill a cavity. Kiss my fucking ass. What are you filling it with? Elvis Presley's cum? Can't you just melt down a penny or something? Get that in there? Shit. I didn't even know I had that tooth. Till the dentist pointed it out to me. He showed me in his little circle mirror. I was like, well, I'll be damned. Who's this? Never seen that tooth before in my life. I'm not going to invest in it. Like, the most I'll give you is $20 to knock it out of my head right now. I'll never think about it again as long as I live. I went and got a second opinion from my dentist I have now. He said I didn't even have a cavity. How fucked up is that? And if I had one, he was only going to charge me $250. That's Dr. J. That's my goddamn guy. I see him every 6 months. I would see him every morning, if you know what I mean. He leaned me back in his chair. I showed him my little teeth. He was like, you have great teeth. I was like, I will fuck you. My therapist is like, she doesn't have any boundaries. She was born in 1955. We invented boundaries in 2018. She's not catching up, dude. Maybe we try and just meet her where she's at. My mom could kill my boyfriend and I would still visit her in prison. I would be pissed, you know. Not saying I wouldn't. I would use my I feel statements I've been learning in therapy. It'd be like, Mom, I felt very angry and sad when you killed my boyfriend. But I got some cigarettes up my ass with your name on, Toots. Why'd you bring them in your ass? They let us have those here. I'm not smoking cigarettes, but in your fucking ass. Out of your mind? They probably smell like shit. But yeah, she had surgery. She just beat breast cancer. They removed the boobs. Okay. Good as new. They even offered her new boobs. I was like, okay, Mom, here's where we make our money back. I was excited for her. I wanted to help her pick some out of the catalog. I was like, let's get you a set of juicy nasties. Here we are. Now's your time to shine. Let's get you some of the ones with the crack down the middle. Here we go. I was excited for her. She didn't even want him. She was like, no, I'm fine. But they were included in the surgery. Insurance was going to pay for him. I was like, shit, I'll take the tits. All I'm saying is ask the other people at your table if someone else wants your fries before you tell the waitress not to bring them. The nurse was like, it doesn't work that way. All right, fuck you too, bitch. And that is the second time I didn't get big boobs from my mom. I have a friend who's getting a breast reduction because she has back problems. But I have back problems. I don't even have giant boobs. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's just like 80% of adults, dude. What makes you so sure that's the boobs' fault? I'm like, what if they make them small and your back still hurts? Something to think about. Because I got news for you, sweet cheeks. If you don't like having a bad back and big juicy titties, you are going to hate having a bad back and a flat chest. I would be a bad friend not to say that to her. And I can't wait till after the surgery. She's just like, damn, dude, my shit is still fucked. I'm like, yeah, I thought about that. Can you imagine? She gets it done, and then later on, she's like, yeah, it turns out I was just wearing the wrong shoes. And she walks away with ugly shoes, tiny titties. That's why me personally, if I had huge boobs and a bad back, I'd be like, well, I guess you're doing surgery on my back. I lost my boobs in the war on obesity. I'm down over 50 pounds now. Thanks. Yeah, I thought I was done. I've been feeling good. I'm in the weight range my doctor gave me, but I was working with an elderly comedian recently. That's relevant. Give me a moment. And he was just like, Laura, you look incredible. Have you lost more weight? I was like, yeah, thank you so much. He goes, what do you got, 10 more? I was like, well, I do now. No, what I actually did was I burst out laughing and I said, I can't believe you just fucking said that to me. And that was when he realized he shouldn't have said it. Like, he's not a bad guy. I know him. He was trying to be supportive. So then he tried to dig himself out. He was just like, oh, well, I only asked because a long time ago, I used to lift girls. And I can't lift them if they're over 120. So I want you to lose more weight for selfish reasons. I was like, you got to stop talking, man. Being liftable by a 76-year-old man. I can't eat jack shit anymore. I was watching a commercial, it had stuff in it, I was like, oh, I could probably eat that. It was like chicken, rice, vegetables. They spun it up, it was dog food. I bought a case, it's not bad stuff. Turns out I'm an Alpo gal, who knew? Try to keep the wet food to the weekends, you know how it is. Because I have these digestive issues. I've been having this problem when I fly. Anyone else, just by applause, do you get gas when you fly? Well, okay. It's so many more people than that. I know, because I Googled it when we landed. I barely had to type in the W. And Google was like, why do I get gas when I fly? I'm like, yeah. Word for word, that is what I was going to type. Turns out it's an air pressure thing. Like how your ears pop, your butt wants to pop too. But it can't. Until you land, and then I set myself free. I don't give a fuck. It is medical at that point. I just deflate my way to baggage claim, truly. It was like a balloon someone let go of. I can hardly keep my little legs underneath me. I'm like, shit, carousel 5 already. And then you use those toilets they got at the airport that flush themselves, which I think I prefer to flush. The timing on those gets real aggressive. It snatched the toilet paper out of my goddamn hand. Like, could I have a second, please? Before you rip my lips off? Shit. I fainted of autism on a flight recently. I got overstimulated and it was too much. And I always freak out when I fly. I give myself my sky talk, and I was giving it to myself. I was just like, you're just a person in a chair. That's all you are. You're just sitting. Couldn't fuck this up if you tried. I know it feels like you're not breathing, but we know that you are, because it always feels like this, and you've never died, so we're fine. This is just a feeling. And then I started losing consciousness, and I was like, oh no, I am dying this time. Oh, okay. But by the time I realized what was happening, I was too weak to push the flight attendant call button. I kind of just flapped my hand on it. And I had to ask the lady next to me to help me, but I didn't want to tell her I was sick because I didn't want her to think I was going to barf on her. So I said, I'm going to die. said, "Help, I'm dying." And then I fainted onto her.
In the room, because one of the girls there, she's lost her fucking mind. And I'm looking around, I'm like, what happened? She's cackling. And I'm very shook. Because one, I wasn't in the room, so nothing that funny could have been said. And two, she only started laughing when I walked in the room. So I'm like, what? She goes, oh my God. Veins. Big vein. Claudia, I did it. I finally figured out who you look like. More frightening words have never been spoken. Yeah, Claudia, I figured it out. You are literally Miss Trunchbull. Sir, Miss Trunchbull is a character from a film. She's the villain in the film Matilda. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an Oscar-snubbed film, in my opinion. It stars Danny DeVito, the little bitch Matilda, and it's really incredible. And Miss Trunchbull, she's the villain. And I really don't like to use this word, but she's a cunt. And she's... She's really not the type of person you want to be compared to physically. I don't want to be mean, but he doesn't know what she looks like and I have to describe her accurately. I don't want to be mean. Okay. She's a handsome woman. She's a former javelin thrower. We all have ideal body types, no? Mine, personally, has never been that of a former javelin thrower. Suffice to say, I'm hurt. And normally I'm very reactive, but I'm on drugs. So I'm feeling very introspective. I'm like, damn, shit, I feel like I've been shot. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that is the most hurtful thing anyone's ever said to me in my entire life. And I'm like, why is this bugging me so much? Because I pride myself on the fact that I can take a joke. But this was like, not a fucking joke. And before I responded, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is really bugging me because it feels like my friend went into my brain, gathered the files on everything I've ever been insecure about in my life. Miss Trunchbull used to have a mole on her face. I used to have two! Miss Trunchbull was a big woman. Have you been listening to the show? I'm clearly unwell. So it felt like my friend, she wrapped up all my insecurities and just handed them to me in this insult, okay? And I know she didn't mean it that way, you guys. She was fucked up on drugs. So in that moment, I definitely did not decide to write my entire comedy tour around it and drag this bitch through all 50 states. I didn't. But her name is Dana. She lives in the West Village. After the show, we ride! Now, some of my friends thought what I did was a little dramatic, but I did throw that bitch in the chokey. It couldn't be helped. And here's the thing. We live in a society... Oh my God, that's like the worst way to start a sentence. Nevertheless, she persisted. We do. We live in a society where everyone is so offended by everything. And it's just not the vibe, you know? Every video I see on the internet has like a trigger warning. I saw a video of a girl on TikTok making homemade soap. Had a trigger warning. Trigger warning, blades.
How? Why? What? And I never mean to offend anyone. I'm sure I do, but it's really never my intention. I never set out with that goal. But personally, I just can't relate to the sentiment of being offended by things because as a human being, very little offends me. Unless you're gonna tell me who you think I look like. 10 out of 10, I'm upset. Like, I don't care. Everyone loves this stupid fucking celebrity doppelganger game. I hate that game. I hate that game. Because for me, people get so, like, they're not creative. It's uninspired, these choices. If you're brunette and chubby, we're sisters. If you're Jewish, oh my God, Beanie Feldstein, you guys are twins. I'm gonna hear you guys whispering, like, she kind of does look like Beanie Feldstein. No, I don't. We're both just chubby and brunette. I have proof. Proof. Okay, ready? When I was in the 11th grade, I could not go anywhere. I couldn't walk 4 feet. I couldn't fart without being told that I looked like Snooki. Now you're all being like, she does kind of look like Snooki. I got a spray tan. When I tell you, it followed me everywhere. It was in the yearbook. Everyone was like, you look like Snooki. It was like my thing. That show had just premiered. Those kids were so famous. I was literally in Miami on spring break, and I was chased down the street by a group of women who thought that I was Snooki. 16-year-old me, they're like, Snooki, we loved you on the Wendy show. And I was like, thanks, girl. Such a fun interview. I love Wendy. Thirsty back then, thirsty now. The point is, I was Snooki. It was my thing, everyone knew it. And then, one day, Snooki got very thin. Yeah. Wanna know what happened next? Nobody ever compared us ever again. We never looked alike. She's from Chile. I'm an Ashkenaz Jew. Question mark. So that was my first time doing drugs. And you know what? Becoming a drug addict is actually not the only bad habit I've picked up recently. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys might know this because I'm getting so bad at hiding it. But if you watch my Instagram stories with like an extremely detail-oriented eye, you might see a little black device in my hands. Now, before I say what it is, it's a choice. I'm not endorsing it. I don't want to hear anyone cheer, and I certainly don't want to hear anyone boo. Okay? Yes. I vape. Shut the fuck up. What is the big deal? I mean, I know the big deal is cancer, but still, like, sue me. I enjoy an occasional puff of fruity deliciousness. By occasional puff, of course, I mean round the clock, 24/7, every minute of every day. Can't wait to finish the show so I can go smoke my vape. I believe it's what the kids are calling an addiction. Yeah. And I love it. I can't lie. It's like a COVID thing that I'm now bringing into the post-COVID world. But it poses a problem because you can pretty much vape anywhere. It's like a thumb drive. It's electric. But you can't do it on the plane. And I know some people do, but I have like a personal policy. Like I will never vape on a plane again. Because I feel as though it's very confusing what the law is. And I was merely a victim of the confusing laws. Obviously, I can't light up a cigarette on a plane. But a vape, like I said, it's electric. And I don't know, I was on this flight. I travel a lot for work, so it's just like, it's not gonna work for me. And I'm on this flight and it's so long, it's like 90 minutes. And I'm really struggling. I'm like jonesing for a hit. And I wasn't entirely sure like what the law is, you know? So I decided to Google it. I spent $29.95 on Wi-Fi, which that was my first mistake. And I ended up on this like stunning Reddit thread, words I thought I'd never say. Actually, it wasn't even a thread, it was like a subreddit, like a community of vapors. And I should have stopped there because that was probably one of the lowest points of my life. Nevertheless, she persisted. So I learned a lot. I was just gathering information from this Reddit thread, and I learned a lot of important shit. Did you know the fine for getting busted for vaping or smoking on a plane is anywhere from $500 to $25,000? And I'm serious about money, so that shook me to my core. I had to take a step back and take inventory of my life. I had to think to myself, is one puff of my jewel worth 25 grand? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Add another show at the Gramercy Theater. But I hadn't made a decision, just gathering information. Know what else I learned? I feel like nobody knows this. This is a crazy fact. Ready? Ready? Yeah! God, fucking mute. Nah, I appreciate the respect. You guys have been a great audience. The second thing I learned, smoke alarms on planes, the ones in the bathroom? It's not gonna trigger and get, the classic, wah, 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 wah. No. Those alarms are silent? Do you guys know that? So you could trigger it and not even know you triggered it. But the smoke alarm will send a notification to the cockpit. It'll literally snitch on you. I'm just gathering information. Haven't made a decision. The overall consensus from this Reddit thread was can you get busted for vaping on a plane? Yeah. Will you? Probably not. They did recommend how they found the best practice to do it was to go into the bathroom and blow your smoke into the toilet as you're flushing. Those airplane flushes. And the second I heard that, decision made. The physics was making sense. I'm there's literally no way this can't work. So I decide I'm gonna do it. And the second I decide I'm gonna do it, I'm nervous, Because it's not nothing. It's a C-class felony what I'm about to do. Nevertheless, she persisted. So I get up, my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Yeah. There was actually a little vomit on my sweater already. Mom spaghetti, right? Basically what I'm saying is I was nervous, And I get up to go to the bathroom, and when you're about to do something bad or unethical, you act weird? I cheated on the SATs all 3 times. And I remember actively, as I was cheating, acting like a freak who wasn't cheating, I was sharpening my mechanical pencil as I looked over at Sophie Mintz's blue book. I still didn't even do a good job. So I get up and I've totally forgotten how to walk and I don't know what to do with my arms. So I'm just kind of moseying down the aisle and waving to people. Hey girlfriend. Claudia, 3D. Come say hi. I get to the bathroom. Of course there's a line. Because nothing in my life can be easy. And so I'm freaking, I'm waiting in line. The anxiety is getting worse and I'm feeling like a real criminal, Claudia Chrisley, okay? Oh my God. That's a good one. Finally, it's my turn. I'm so anxious. I really need a hit to take the edge off. So I kind of hover over the toilet in a squat position, which really is not something I do frequently, so I'm already, uncomfortable. I take a really big hit. Like I said, I was jonesing. And right before I exhale, I just press the flush, so flush. Perfect, right? Wrong. So wrong. When I tell you, it literally never occurred to me just to test the flush. Silly me. I thought it was every flush on every plane, on every fucking airline I'd ever been on. You know the one. If you go in there and you're not ready for it, it'll literally stop your heart. I've never been on a plane that didn't have the... So I don't hear the... And I look down. And I don't have the... No, I got this swirly, twirly gumdrop. I got like a careless whisper in the night. I got a flush that looks like it minored in dance. Pas de bourrée, kickball change, sachet. Yeah. And before I know it, this cloud of smoke is everywhere. And my first instinct is to do the classic move, you know, the waft. Which, by the way, does nothing. And my second instinct is just to find a window and jump. Because I've had a good life. And I would never survive in prison. My ass is too juicy. And my breasts are too large. You know what kind of bras you get in prison? Not good ones. I'm freaking out. I'm like trying to come up with a plan. I don't even have time. I swear to God, 3 seconds have passed. I'm hovered over the shit-filled toilet, saliva dripping down my neck, and I hear this. Flight attendant. Female flight attendant, let's be real. Only a woman would do something as annoying as this. When she's about to arrest you. She's quite literally cornered me at this point. I have nowhere to go, nothing to do but to open the door. So I shoved my jewel between my titties. That way she had no proof. And if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. I am constantly inspired by O.J. Simpson and his work. Every day. So I just decided to be a grown-up. I'm like, let's fucking do this. So I open the door. I emerge in a cloud of smoke. I literally looked like Chris Angel in Vegas. And I'm like, hi, what's the problem here? She's very direct. She wastes no time. She goes, ma'am, were you smoking in the bathroom? And I thought that was a really interesting question. Because was I smoking in the bathroom? Absolutely. Is that any of this bitch's business? No. But I understand the severity of the situation I'm in, and I really look inward and I say, Claudia, we gotta get out of this. Let's play to our strengths. Bitch, what are you good at? I can't sing for her. And then I remembered that I'm married, and I know what I'm good at. And that's when I decide to gaslight this flight attendant. So she says, ma'am, were you smoking in the bathroom? And I said, smoking. Me smoking in the bathroom? Are you crazy? No, I wasn't smoking in the bathroom. My father actually died of lung cancer 10 years ago, so I would never. It was a heart attack, but what's he gonna do? Come down and tell this flight attendant I'm lying, okay? I wish you fucking would. She's not deterred in the slightest. She goes, ma'am, the pilot alerted us that the smoke alarm was triggered. I know. I was real, like, I know that was definitely a possibility, but I was so shocked. And I'm like, quick on my feet. I'm like, the smoke alarm was triggered? How bizarre is that? You know, it must be malfunctioning, and to be quite honest, I don't really feel safe being on a plane that doesn't have a working smoke alarm. So I'll just step out so you can get in there and fix it. You guys, like, she doesn't think I'm cute. She does not think I'm funny. Imagine. And I realized, like, I don't have much time left. I really need to amp up the gaslighting. So she goes, ma'am, I'm gonna ask you one last time, were you smoking in the bathroom? And I said, ma'am, were you smoking in the bathroom? Because that's what it fucking sounds like. And that's how your girl ended up writing a check for $4,100? Yeah. Plus $29.95 for Wi-Fi. To the FAA. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Federal Aviation Association. Fucking asshole association. my God, like chill. It's a vape, not a bomb. Be cool. Don't be all